Hello everyone, it's June and thought it was time to do another real estate update video for you. I was also able to get a haircut this morning, so that's another reason. Feels great. And so I was willing to go in front of the camera and just talk a bit about what's going on. If you want the short version, basically real estate is beginning to come back to normal. The longer version is probably a little bit more detailed. For those of you that like statistics, you can subscribe, and I would gladly email you out the information that kind of provides a little bit more of the data. But the one that I like to go by, our unsold inventory metric, suggests that right now we're sitting at 3.2 months of unsold inventory. A figure which puts us in a place where the pressure on price is to go up. And that's actually even skewed by the fact that there's certain municipalities like Niagara on the Lake and Fort Erie where there is quite a bit of unsold inventory. So if you contrast that with places like St. Catharines, where the figure is 2.2, not a lot of choice if you're a buyer. On the other hand, it's a great time if you're a seller. Bidding wars are common, homes are selling faster with far more competition. That doesn't mean that every house will be getting 10 offers and sold in a weekend, but overall the market is very competitive. And maybe this raises the question in your mind, how is that even possible when, for example, you would read the most recent unemployment statistics that I read says that Niagara has an unemployment rate of 12.6%. What is going on? Like historically, if unemployment is high, the real estate market tends not to do very well. Well, some people are saying maybe it's because interest rates are so low. Well, that doesn't really make a lot of sense because, if you've just lost your job, you're not rushing out to buy a house. And in fact, probably the bank's not even going to give you a mortgage. So what is the more likely explanation? And I would say it's probably this. It's the fact that the types of jobs that have been lost over the last number of months have been in the lower paying service area. In fact, in Niagara, two broad categories have borne the brunt of job losses, and those would be in food and accommodations and culture and recreation. So, for example, your restaurants and your fitness studios, that's where the job losses have taken place. On the other hand, the buyers that agents that I know have been working with have not been impacted by recent job losses, probably because they've been able to transition to working from home, and so their income hasn't been as affected. So how will the housing market progress from here? Well, in the summer, it's likely to stay very competitive. The only thing that might help cool the competition is all of a sudden we get a massive spike in listings. As for the fall, there's probably still a couple of big risks on the horizon. So for instance, what happens when government support slows down, or what happens when people are no longer deferring their mortgages. I guess that also raises another question about mortgage deferrals. Are people deferring their mortgage because they can't afford them, or are they just doing it out of an abundance of caution? And my guess would be to say they're probably just being cautious. So while things aren't going back to normal anytime soon, it also is probably accurate to say that they can't get any worse than they have been in the past 2 months, which means that demand is going to remain steady. Of course, the big unknown is what happens with what the health people are referring to as a second wave of COVID. I think the only thing that you can do is just monitor developments closely and stay tuned. Like I said, it's a great time if you're a seller. So if you're at all interested in opinion of value on your home, or if you just have real estate questions, feel free to reach out. I'm more than willing to chat with you, and let's go from there. In the meantime, let's just stay safe, everyone, and all the best to you.